Today, we're going to talk about my favorite technique. If I had to choose a favorite technique, it would definitely be revision. Revision is just that girl when it comes to manifestation. I am always revising my life, and it seems like this month we've been really revising a lot. Me and my clients, when we've been talking, we've been revising a lot of the unfavorable things that have occurred during 2024 because we're not bringing that in next year for 2025. So let's talk about it, because revision by shifting parallel realities, that's really what revision is shifting you to your preferred reality. And revision is to imagine a undesired event or undesired circumstance in the way you would have preferred it to happen, and the outcome will align you to your preferred reality, or you'll shift to that preferred reality. So remember this, you guys, all memories, and I mean every single memory you could have, whether it's the past, the present, or the future, all of those are memories and they are imaginal acts. All imaginal acts are facts or half truths, which means that it is a potential reality. And every decision you make aligns you to a particular reality, no matter how small the decision is, no matter how small the mental shift is, it is an entirely different reality. So, one important key that I don't think is talked about enough is the reason the now moment is the most important for creating your reality is because what you are currently doing now, right now, here in this moment, wherever you are, it exists in every possible reality. Your awareness of being is just focused in on this one particular reality or timeline or section of time, if you will. So, for example, I'm recording this video. Now, this video that I'm recording right now, I'm sitting on the right side of my bed. But there's also a version of me recording this same video on the left side of my bed, and a version of me recording this video in the kitchen, a version of me recording this video in my car, and it's also a version of me recording it in California, a version of me recording this video in New York, one version of me recording this in Paris. And why is this? Because creation is finished. So if I can imagine and see me recording this video within myself, this same video in Paris, I'm tapping into the memory or reality where it's happening or happened at the same time, because there is no past, no future. So this is the present moment. So I can imagine something from the past too, when I was 7, and be there right here and now. So, one thing I want you guys to realize is revision is not to change a particular circumstance if it's already collapsed, because it happened. However, it happened this way in this only particular reality, this one section of time, but in another, it happened completely different. So the key thing here, it is dependent on who I am identifying as. So when you revise, it's to align you with the identity that you prefer, and the outcome of your life will be merged with that identity. So here's another example. Earlier this year, I was going to close a business deal for 5 figures, and that deal fell through. This was back in March, and it didn't pan out. And yes, it happened only in this one reality. It happened this way. But when I revised it, I revised that the deal actually closed and it went through. And it's not that that same deal was going to somehow magically, that closed, it was going to magically just all of a sudden go through. But in a series of events, that 5 figure deal came about through two other unexpected deals I closed, which put me on the timeline of having that exact amount of money as if the first deal actually closed. So that's what revision is. Yes, it happened in the one reality I lived it where it did not close, but me going back in my imagination within myself, seeing it differently, seeing that it did close. Now that version, it could have actually, in one reality, of course, they could have came back and said, we want to do this deal, but you don't know the how. You have to get over trying to figure out the how, or trying to say that that deal all of a sudden now in the reality where it's already closed, because I was in that timeline where it did not close. But I shifted my identity to remember being the version of myself where it did close. So that series of events led me on this path for two other unexpected deals that equaled that same amount of money, and those two deals closed, which got me the same amount of money I would have if that first deal would have closed, right? So, this is also the same with clients and SPs. I see this all the time. So, if your SP had certain habits, or let's say that they were unkind to you, and you chose to imagine them as the version who is kind, the series of events will align you with that version. Or if you broke up with SP and said, you know what, I want to be in a relationship with someone who treats me like a queen. Now, it could be your ex, but also the quickest way I find and have seen this year for a lot of people may be a new person coming into your life and automatically treating you like a queen. So, going general, or not trying to have things be one particular way, focused on it happening exactly one way, is really what's going to help you shift there pretty quickly. Because the moment you place all these conditions, and it needs to be this and it has to be that, then that's what takes up so much time, and really you're not allowing that higher power to really work through you in a way that could get you the result, or shift you pretty quickly to your desired result. And so the reason revision is hard for most people is because you hold on to your priors. And what I mean by that is you're holding on to prior circumstances, that reality still has your interest more than the preferred reality. So your undesired reality that collapsed into the 3D, the one that you remember that you've lived, you are more interested in that than the revision, the revised, or the preferred reality. So your attention and your interest needs to be more in the version or the identity of you that you actually prefer, right? So I want to say that the easiest way to revise is in the now moment, deciding who you are identifying as. So think about it. If you're poor and you say that I have always been wealthy, what that does is it revises your whole life, and it aligns you with the version of yourself who has always been wealthy. So, for revision to work, you have to get out of concerning yourself with the hows and trying to go back and actually make that one situation that's already passed and already collapsed, trying to change what is and what was. A lot of us, we try to go back and force that thing to actually be the way that we preferred. But what it is all about your identity. Revision is mainly about who you are identifying with. So you have to, once you shift to that version of yourself who, where things are the way that you preferred or happen the way that you would have preferred, you have to respond to the current reality from the preferred version of yourself. So that means keeping it light, being indifferent to the circumstances as you shift, as you align yourself to that preferred reality. And so keeping it light and keeping that attention minus effort. So no trying to force things to be a certain way in the reality, especially when it's unwanted. That should no longer have your concern, right? So a lot of people would like to go back and change one particular thing that is stuck on their mind. So if it's a specific relationship that they, the breakup, they want to revise the breakup, it's something that they think about all the time. Yes, go back and revise that. But remember, it's shifting and aligning your identity with the version of the person where that reality where you didn't break up, or that you were the person that you desired to be, or they were the person that you desired them to be. And so you'll imagine it a few times, because imagination is that true reality. So yes, you're going to imagine it a few times, and then you're going to just drop it. And you don't always have to believe it, but that's why it's important that you align yourself with that identity of yourself that you preferred, because the more that you just align yourself with the version of yourself who had that particular outcome, that's how this shapes around you. The 3D, the world will shape around you and who you are being. So it's mainly about your identity, you guys. And yeah, so if you don't want to revise a particular situation undesired, you can revise right here and right now by claiming that you've always been the person that has your desire. And the series of events will align you to that. All right. So we're always shifting. We're always shifting, no matter even if it's just one particular shift in a thought, or one particular shift, such as me sitting on this right side of the bed, and then me actually recording this video sitting on the left side of the bed. That's a whole nother reality. It's a whole nother reality, you guys. So yeah, you guys, you can be anywhere. You could be anywhere you prefer, here in the only moment that exists, which is the now moment. So that's why I don't want you guys to get so caught up on things that may have happened, the undesired, because again, it only happened one time. Those circumstances only happened one time, but you're the one that keeps it going in your memory. So you are doing an imaginal act, which is recreating and giving you the same results over and over and over again. So you can be somewhere else right now if you prefer. If you decide to imagine it differently, imagine it going the way you preferred, and not get concerned about the how, and allow yourself to respond as that version that you prefer. So, yeah, you guys, I just love revision so much, and I just wanted to share this quick video with you. We are going to be revising those things, that those undesired circumstances that we do not like. We're revising them because they're not coming into 2025 with us. They're not even coming into the next moment with us. All right. So, if you would like to book a phone or email session with me to talk about revising your particular situation, definitely get down in the description box below. Also, leave me a comment. I want to say to you guys, tomorrow is Christmas. So, Merry Christmas if you celebrate. I love you guys so much. And remember, imagination, it literally is on your side, and I am too. Bye.